Okay, hey everyone, I'm attempting to do this video to show you how we can reupholster a couch with cushions that are attached. You'll notice here, and then you see my sleeping baby. I try to do as much as I can while he's asleep. The leather on my couch is coming apart, so I needed a way to reupholster the top part and match the bottom, which I upholstered maybe almost a year ago now. So what I ended up doing is cutting, if you'll notice on this side, I cut off the cushion. Here's the, if you can see it here, here's the cushion part, and I'm cutting it, and took the inside here and created a whole new pillowcase, which looks like, if I can show you on the floor, which looks like that, and then I'm going to reattach it. Oops, reattach it to the back. So that's the cushion that's going to be in the corner, and I will show you the finished product when I'm complete. I did this one yesterday. Can't tell, it's kind of dark. It's just a pillow, and I used the existing zipper that was on the old cushion, and I will come back to show you how to fix it. Okay, so now I'm going to be working on the pillow, how to rebuild the pillow, I guess you can call it. Now that's the back of it, that's the exposed foam of the pillow, and I just save this portion. That's the zipper that's attached. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it apart, and I'll show you all the pieces once I'm complete. Alrighty, so this is the pieces I cut apart. This is the front right there. I will cut two of those for the front and the back. Then here's the zipper part at the very bottom, so it'll sew right directly as the bottom. And up there is the top and the sides, and I leave them all connected, and I'll just cut the sides that I need as well, and then just cut them and then re-sew them so that I can have a nice clean corner. That's the side down the side, and then I'll attach that piece, that strip, to the front and to the back, and then that to the bottom. All right, so here I have it on my, laying on my fabric, the cut pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this one, and then I'm going to flip it over and cut it on this side right here. You'll notice my strip is right there. So I cut the long part, which will be the very top of this part, and then I'm going to cut this in the same length that'll go on the side here, and that little piece, oh, the baby's awake, that piece right here will be sewn right here, and I'm going to cut that corner on the remaining extra fabric right here. Now, because of this particular fabric that I chose, it doesn't really matter what grain I cut it on. It doesn't have a pattern, so it's actually easy. And I'm trying not to obsess over which way to cut it. I'm sure there's rules to doing that, but I'm not following any rules. It's probably a big no-no in sewing land. But this is working for me, so here we are. Alright, so I just have to show you how I'm doing the second piece. Notice that the white part is the back of the fabric, and you want to mirror it so that it's when you're sewing it all together, all the angles are going to fit the same way. So I just have to show you that. Don't cut them the same way with the right sides facing up. You want to mirror it. So actually right now the right sides are fitting back to back, and so when I turn it over, it'll be all in the same shape. Alright, so here I sewed all three strips together. There's the side, there's the top, and then there's the other side. And I sewed them together. Now I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to do this top stitch. So I just split the back part over, and when I sewed it, excuse my one-handed attempt here, I went to the 5/8 here so I can have a good. Now when I cut the fabric, I didn't allow for my seam allowance because I wanted a tight fit. So here you'll see I'm lining my foot up with the seam, and then I'm going to sew it on both sides using my the seam as my guide. All right, so I sewed all my strips together. There's the side, and here is the top, and then the other side, and then down here where the bottom zipper part is. And I've pinned everything to make sure everything lines up perfectly, because once you start sewing, it kind of shifts a little bit. So I took my corner and I made it up with this corner, this little curve right here, and I just pinned until this side, and then I will have to readjust it as I go along. I did have to add a little extra here, but I will fix that once it's all sewn up, and I don't really care if it's completely even because the bottom back. So there's the entire pin part. Hope you can see it. So that's the white part is the stripped, that is the back or the front, and then here is the zipper part, bottom part. All right, so now I sewed the back, the front, the sides, and the bottom. Okay, and then here's my zipper. I hope you can see it. So what I'm going to do now, I have this hole here, but I'm going to fix it once I have all the stuffing in, because it's just easier to fix that part. Bottom I don't really care too much about as far as the neatness of it. I just want to fix the top of it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to sew a seam, kind of like how I did here in the corner. I'm going to sew it all the way around the top, kind of like this one right here, if you can see it. I'm going to go all the way around for the finished product. Right, so here's the finished pillow. It's kind of on the side. And notice that I have this hole here. Well, I'm just going to take my thread and fix it, because I don't really care what it looks like as far as if it's even, and which take some pride into my work, but that part I can actually camouflage to make it look like it's the seam. So that's how I finished the entire. All right, what do you think? Can you tell there was a hole there? Not so bad, huh? Well, when I have a second videographer, I can show you how to do that seam without a sewing machine, and to make it look like it's part of this one, which this is completely separate. As far as I stopped right here with the machine, and I did all this by hand. So that'll be a separate tutorial. All right, so here is the one side of my sectional, and I'm gonna finish that rest of it. And the baby's again in his seat. He hasn't been in there all day, don't worry. And I will sew those back pieces to the back wall of the couch once I can get the right needle. Thanks for watching.